Everyone's a vampire. Devon. I just want to see. There was some interview with Devon Sawa. See if we can find him talking about what it was like to be in this film. We've read it before on the show, but now that we've seen the trailer, I think it's necessary to take a look at that. Oh, this is for the trailer. Devon Sawa talks. Let's see if what talks brings up. It might be too buried at this point. That's annoying. Devon Sawa interview. Let's try interview. Come on. Come on. Does anybody know what I'm talking about when Devon Sawa was here we go. Maybe this was it. I think this was it. Yes. So let's see what let's remember what Devon Sawa said about working. Well, while that's loading, let's see what the comments are. Here we go. Kind of looks like a soundstage, old school. It might be. I love that Devon Sawa is in this. He's my favorite movie, Idle Hands. I am so long overdue to rewatch Idle Hands, which is a great film from that era of teen horror films, and definitely need to give it a rewatch. I too listen. I think it's going to be great as well. I'm just looking at the schlocky aspects. I mean, you can't help but look at them. Smashing Foozer. He's going for a Tarantino vibe, playing a small role. You're right, Smashing. That's exactly what is happening here. Also, it would be hard to direct your own film being the main star. Maybe not Glenn Danzig, but a lot of guys do that. A lot of guys do that. Quentin Tarantino has done that. Quentin Tarantino has done, or has come close to sort of doing that. He plays a part in Reservoir Dogs. His part is small too, but there are a lot of people that direct themselves and star in the film as well. I would have liked to seen the trailer more frantic and less revealing, but I still like what I saw. I mean, I like what I saw too. I do feel like we are kind of bums for critiquing a trailer, but it's just we have nothing else to go on right now, so we're looking at the trailer because it's fun. We want something to talk about in the realm of this movie, so that's what we're talking about. And yes, it is on IMDb. I forgot to mention that. I saw that earlier today, and I made a mental note, and we didn't talk about that. Lee Ving is the bartender. Lee Ving is in this movie, which I think is funny considering that Lee Ving just did some shows as Fear with the original Misfits. Yes, the Fear singer. Lee Ving is an accomplished actor in his own right. He's in the Penelope Spears movie Dudes. He's in Clue. He plays the boss in Clue. He's in a bunch of stuff. So there is that. Okay, let's see what's said in here about Death Rider. All right, this is pretty funny. Pretty blah, 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 blah. It's pretty interesting that so many newer filmmakers are reverting back to practical effects. It does look a hell of a lot better. He goes, well, I did a movie with Glenn Danzig, a vampire spaghetti western that, yeah, he's gonna use all. He's dumped a lot of his own. Okay, I guess he has used his own money. He's dumped a lot of his own money, like millions of dollars, into digital effects. Like I think he dumped $2 million into digital effects on these vampires. And apparently it looks really effing badass. But we had this crazy team of computer guys on set all the time, and supposedly they killed it. I haven't seen the film yet, so I don't know. It was an interesting film shoot, to say the least. It was quite wild. Wait, did I miss this somehow? I guess I was super wrong. Glenn Danzig, at least according to Devon Sawa, dumped a lot of his own money in the movie. Millions of dollars. So, Rue, you were right. I guess that's where all the... That's why Glenn did all those Misfit shows. He spent them on digital effects for his vampire movie. And if they were the ones that we saw in the trailer, I'm a little scared. I'm not going to lie. But if he makes good box office, he probably owns a good chunk of that movie, and he'll be okay. Who knows? What movie? What movie is that? Death Rider. Death Rider in the House of Vampires. Got Eli Roth in there. It's cool. We all just had a really good time shooting that, and Glenn Danzig is a character, so we'll see with that one. I didn't know he was making another movie, says the interviewer. He goes, yeah, I never knew about the first movie when I was shooting the second movie with him. I think a few days into shooting it, they were like, have you heard of Veronica? I'm like, no. Is it good? It was just silence. But this one, he had a cast of actors and a lot bigger budget. The interviewer says, I'm sure having a cast and budget is going to make a huge difference. Devon says, it's going to make a huge difference. Glenn Danzig is an unconventional director. I will say that. It's wild working with him. Like, I work with Fred Durst, too, another rock musician. But Fred Durst was much more grounded than Glenn Danzig was. Glenn Danzig was wild. It was a wild experience, and I wouldn't give it up for the world. It was very interesting. How would you have compared the two directors? Asked the interviewer. Fred Durst is very educated in film. He wanted to do things the conventional way, where Danzig was just going to do shit like a fucking rock star. You know what I mean? Danzig was like, yeah, that might not be how the film people do it, but we're rock stars, and we're going to do it this way. Whereas Durst was a bit, Durst was a little bit more like, he had a shot list and was working with the DP and this and that. So it was just two different ways, and they were both wild. I love how he says, well, Durst was a little bit more, have a shot list, work with the DP. These are things that a director does. So I guess that really gives us a better a better understanding. Interviewer says, I was curious about how Danzig would prepare for a film. Devon says he had a vision. He had a vision and he was going with it. And we'll see when it comes out. He was very, very strong and stubborn at times about what he wanted. And we'll see. He's a wild guy, man. Fucking Glenn Danzig. Yeah, baby. Yeah, Uncle Glenn. Devon likes you, man. Devon likes you. There you go. So Death Rider already wrapped. Death Rider shot. It was shot last year. I think the coronavirus shut it down for about 5 months of post-production. I can say this. I've heard some of his soundtrack. He did the soundtrack for it. And when I went to the studio to listen to him lay down some tracks, I went to the studio to listen to him lay down some tracks. And because it's a spaghetti Western, he's kind of got that Sergio Leone vibe going. But it's all fucking like punk metal shit. It's pretty fucking cool. I don't know what the film is going to look like, but that soundtrack is amazing. Wow. I love that, man. I guess I missed most of that interview the last time. Maybe I didn't read the full interview, but Devon Sawa, the first time I heard an interview with him or him talk about it, he seemed a little bit more apprehensive. But this time around, he seemed really, truly stoked. He seems stoked and excited, and that makes me stoked and excited. So who knows? Who knows what's coming? Well, Devon Sawa knows what's coming. Yes, Clue was great. He's my favorite anti-minority singer. I want more beer. I want more beer. More beer.